Yeah, that works. Amazing. Okay. So I am unused to the Apple OS. I have been using Android. And so I am going to be a little lost here for a bit while I try and figure out. I think that's going to work. Okay. Hi, everybody. I am testing my husband's iPad. He seems to think this is the way to go. And so, can you guys hear me? Is the microphone on? Is it working? Great. Thanks, Dana. Hi. I am going to try and prop this up so that the iPad doesn't fall over. Wouldn't that be cool? My husband's new iPad, and I break it on the first day he lets me borrow it. Hi, Maud. Yeah, that would be brilliant. So I just, along with testing the iPad, and I have to say I love being able to read who's coming in and people at the bottom. I think I'm going to be able to read your comments. That's really cool. Let me know if the music in the background's too loud. I can turn that down. I'm throwing wine cups. I had a forum that I did many years ago. Hi, Greta. That I did. Can't hear the music. Okay, good. That way, hopefully you can hear me though. I didn't like this glaze. This is it's a real rusty, very rustic glaze. And honestly, it's been so long I don't even remember which one it was. But I really liked the form. So I kept these cups for myself. I drink wine out of these on a pretty regular basis. And I had a party about 1.5 years ago, and a friend of mine told me that he thought these were some of the best wine cups he'd ever used and that I should make them again. So I did. I started to make them, except the foot that I did on that round was more of a T-bowl foot because I thought I had advanced more. I was more shishi of a potter. I was going to be able to put the T-bowl foot on it, and it was going to be a more elegant form. But I have to tell you, it really feels more like a wine cup with this foot on it. And so I'm just doing the body of these today. And if any of you follow me on Instagram, you saw my bag of wine cups, some 35 or so balls of clay that I have set and ready to go, that I'm going to throw just the bodies, and then later, probably in a couple of days, I'm going to throw the foot separately, and I'll throw these off the hump, and then I will assemble, and I'll just do a mass assembling. They will not be this finish. They will be in the new glaze combo that I do, and I'll use the decals. So anyway, this is what I'm doing, along with testing the iPad, which so far I really like. And yeah, so the clay is Plainsman M340. It is a pretty solid stoneware. I've got it pretty soft today because my hands have been kind of bugging me a bit. And this is less than a pound, but more than 3/4 of a pound. So they're all the clay I made was all about that. And so I'm just gonna throw some cups. And hopefully my Wi-Fi is working okay. It looks like I have full network, full Wi-Fi power here. When I wedge my clay, I do a spiral wedge, like a shell, and I then measure every piece. I weigh every piece. Somebody asked me once why my pieces seemed to be so consistent, and honestly, the truth is I just weigh every piece so that they are all exactly the same. And then I just try and make them all be similar. I don't try to make them exactly the same, but I want them to speak to each other. And I can feel there's a little bit of an air bubble in there. so I'm going to try and get that wedged out. So all the cool kids were in Ensika in Kansas City last week. I bet everybody's just really exhausted and recovering today. And it's been pretty quiet on Periscope. So always compress that bottom, especially when I'm going to go add another piece to the bottom later. Really want to make sure that's as compressed as it can be. And I center pretty fast, and then I really need to remember to slow my wheel down, my wheel speed down, because I have a tendency to want to go, I want to fly. This particular form doesn't handle that particularly well. I also have my pedal on my left side. I tend to lean on my right side, and was finding I was having some speed control issues. So I do all of my speed control for my wheel with my left foot. Kind of also engages my right brain a little bit. Excuse me, I'm still froggy from the cold that I've had. We're getting better though. My daughter had a show choir like Glee Club, except it's not associated with a school. It's a separate thing. She performed and played, sang songs and danced, and so we were all up a little late last night. I used this rib. I think this is the rib from my original pottery pack I got in my first class I took in 2003. And I use this for pretty much everything I do. Bring my lip in a little bit. You guys can't see the bottom of that very well. Let me see if I can fix that so you can see that angle better. Get clay all over the iPad. That'll be good. Okay. So, hang on just a second here. I covered that up. I'm gonna try and keep it from... There we go. Is that better? I think that's better. Now just don't bump it. Okay, so here we go. I dig into the bottom of this piece. Can you see that okay? Yeah, better. Okay, good. Thanks, Maud. And I like to put an angle at the bottom of this wine cup. And then I'm going to bring that up. And I need to slow that down again. So like I said, I have this tendency to want to fly. Bring that up. Okay, and that kind of roughly gives me my shape, but you can see here this angle. I want that foot to come in pretty far. And I'll trim, of course, but it helps to get a good head start on that. Okay. I'm going to belly this out just a little bit more. And then bring this up and tighten this in. Just make it, there we go. That's pretty close, but we're still a little bit fat around the mouth here. I don't want quite that much room at the lip. There we go. Now, so see, we have kind of a smooth, even side here, and then it has this rounded belly here. And I'm gonna bring in that foot just a little bit more at the bottom so that when I attach the foot later, I don't have to try and cover a big area. I want the foot to feel not dainty, but not overwhelming either. And I just use a piece of, this is plastic off of a dry cleaner's bag. And so I just cut strips, and then I just cut tiny little strips of those, and they last forever. They also get lost in the sludge, so I'm sure my Reclaim has some plastic in it. I'll have to be really careful when I go to reclaim that. So how's the picture for you guys on your end? Is the transmission okay with the iPad? Since I've been using the Android OS for so long. It looks good. Great, thank you. Loud and clear? All right. Yay. I'm so glad. I might have to become an Apple person. I've been anti-Apple for a long time. But it seems like these kinds of apps work really well on iPad, and it might, or iOS I should say, and seems like it makes sense to make the switch. I use a wood knife to get in a tight bevel at the bottom there. And I'll show you my bat system here in just a second. I'm sure everybody's seen it, but I'll show it to you anyway. So that's the basic shape. Looks like I've got a bit of a water drop there. I want to clean that off so it doesn't get super wet in that one spot. Alright, so there's that. I use this, oh wow, that one's pretty worn out. Let's see, I don't even know what these are called. Wonder Bat. Yeah, so I don't think this guy makes these anymore. I have, the Bray had a whole bunch in, and we were hearing rumors that maybe he wasn't going to be producing these anymore, so I made sure to pick up a whole bunch of the bats. But that's the, yeah, you have one. It's, then I use my bat sheet underneath. It helps keep it from rattling inside there. I also use these when I throw off the hump. I throw my whiskey cups and some smaller stuff I throw off the hump, and these things work awesome for compressing the bottom of pots that have been thrown off the hump. Since I started using the bat sheet, and the other one is the bat gripper, since I started using that to help compress the bottom of those off the hump pots, I've hardly had any loss due to S-cracks. Lost other stuff, but not to S-cracks. So the only thing I warn people about with this particular system is the clay will accumulate underneath, and that'll cause some wobble if it gets too thick. So I'm going to take this opportunity to clean that up. I really like this system. It works pretty good. Sometimes the bats get stuck inside here, but then I use the handle of my pin tool to pull those out. So in any case, that's it. I think that's what I'm going to continue to do today, is throw some wine cups. And I'm going to thank you for the hearts. I'm going to tell my husband the iPad experiment was a success. Don't want to get my sweetheart's iPad too muddy. So thanks, you guys. Thanks for joining me. I hope that you all have a really great rest of your Saturday. No, it's Sunday, isn't it? And bye, Dana. Thanks, Maud. You know, if you're recovering from NCECA, just rest. You know, you guys have been working and partying pretty hard. So I'm hoping to join next year in Portland. It's much closer to where I live. So everybody, have a great Sunday. Take care. See you later.